you better be on the lookout for us.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and we finally got Murders at Karlov Manor, which means we have all sorts of great new commanders like Delney, Streetwise, Lookout. This card's probably better in the 99, but it still makes for a really cool commander, doubling the abilities of creatures of power 2 or less, and making your creatures of power 2 and less not unblockable, but a lot harder to block. Delney works well with a lot of different abilities. Ones that draw you a card when they enter the battlefield, things that make tokens on entering the battlefield, on dying, like Tithe Taker as well, and with some abilities that you might not actually expect, like Tashar, Ancestor's Apostle, or anything with training. Yeah, looking at you, Savior of Allenbach. There's a lot of really cool cards that work well with Delney, and they all work in a white weenies shell. But because this is a white weenies deck, and, well, Delney dies pretty easily, being a 3-mana 2/2, you have to have a backup strategy, and the backup strategy of this deck is to get big, get strong, and buff all our creatures with abilities like Flowering of the White Tree, Luminarch Aspirant, and Anafenza. You know, Anafenza and Luminarch Aspirant will actually still double trigger so long as they have a power of 2 or less. But once you start buffing up your board using cards like Elish Norn or maybe Virtue of Loyalty, you're gonna lose this doubled up ability, which can sometimes be a good thing. Cards like Skyclave Apparition that enter the battlefield and can exile 2 things if you have Delney out are great. But if Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield with Delney out, they actually get double tokens. That's not so good for us. So sometimes it's actually good to get yourself out of that power 2 or less range. We also have some power 2 or less synergies because they've been printed recently, like Ceradoc, Master of Buckland, who gets you a token whenever you got one of these weenies entering the battlefield. Or, where's my good friend here, Assemble the Players, that lets you play these creatures off the top of your deck. This deck is, by the way, very creature heavy. You can see up here, I've got 42 creatures in this deck. Not too many lands because, as you can see, it's 1 drops, 2 drops, and 3 drops all the way down. So we're going to take Delney into the queue, and we're going to keep a lookout for some white weenies. Croxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, and Amy of only 1 land in hand. We're going to mulligan. A 2. 2 is better than 1. Croxa is a discard commander in Rakdos. Make you drop in all those good things. I can start with the Novice Inspector, since that will give me something to draw a card with next turn. Also, if you're wondering, Amy, why Novice Inspector instead of Threadbin Inspector in the deck? The answer is because I felt like it. By Welcoming Vampire, I assume. Welcoming Vampire is our card draw here, so it's probably a good target for that discard. It's an Inquisition of Kozilek. Can hit anything in my hand. It can hit almost everything in the deck. Oh, actually, they went for my creature exile. Interesting. Okay. Fuck. I'm being duressed. There goes Teferi's Protection. Please stop making me discard Croxa. You're such a big titan. Boop. Or draw. Okay, that gets me a land. Oh, or I could just play plants. I think they're gonna kill Delney. I'm gonna hope that they don't. Delney's on the battlefield. My ideal here is like, we have a land, we go for Delney. Ooh, okay. They could like play Croxa and then like tap this while it's on the battlefield before it sacrifices itself. Don't kill Delney. Don't kill Delney. I just want my double triggers. I want 2 lands. Oh, hey, Crucius. Crucius is great. Crucius will discard things, feeding that eventual escape, and allow them to get something bigger in hand. Or smaller, but in this case, bigger. Dang. Didn't get the lands. We're gonna go for the ambitious farmhand. Put 2 lands in hand. Yes, please, more planes. We're gonna back it up. I'm tempted to make Delney big, but I'd rather just spread the love here. Crucius can't block either of these because he has 3 power. So we swing in with the weenies. They stole Delney. Why'd you steal Delney? Are you going to kill them? I have to discard something here. I'm going to drop Blade Splicer because I can bring it back with Tashar, but Welcoming Vampire is more important to me now. Okay, Delney, whatever you want. Surely they wouldn't sacrifice Delney to something. Ew, nasty. Drawing 3 cards because it was a legend. Oh, indeed. I am losing some frames. I apologize for people watching the stream for any disconnection issues. I have no control over it. Welcoming Vampire into Daxos. This will draw me a card. Swinging with all these friends. It has now stabilized. Oh, hey, Sheldred. Sheldred makes my card draw hurt more. Oh, that's an orb. Giving them card draw extra hurts. Very ambitious. Indeed, very ambitious. I will lose the life. Lose 4 life. Tashar, draw a card. Gain some life too. That's convenient. Be gone from this place, Sheldred! Everybody else, get in there. By the power of weenies! Now they have 7 life left. Nice. If they escape Croxa, this gets discarded, but casting Delney would bring it back. Hello, Crucius. Care to defend against my army of weenies? They're considering what they want to do. Cracking open a Fabled Passage. Getting a Swamp, I assume. Just to balance out their mana a little more. Yep, there's a Swamp. Just one Massacre away from death. Listen, if they have a Massacre Worm, or a Meat Hook Massacre, or a Massacre Girl, we accept our fate. Whoa, actually, they're doing Mount Doom! Because they had a Mox Amber to sacrifice! I forgot that this has more modes. Oh, and we're peeping? Nice. Peep, peep. Peep, peep. R.I.P. to Char, though. My cool plans. No, you lose life. Oh, I lose life. Okay, it was only 2. Not bad. We're going to go for Thalia and the Savior of Allenbach. If we get to attack next turn, and it should be pretty free to attack, we can actually use this as a reanimation piece. Exiling 2 things from graveyards or battlefields. This is a way to get rid of blockers. We're going to get 2 counters if we have Delney out. Should be really, really good here. We have no cards in hand. They have 2 mana. They can get a 3rd with Crucius. Yeah, Proto carried the Mox Amber to Mount Doom. City Reunion. Okay, that actually makes me feel very safe here. They drop in Evolving Wilds, all these nice lands to fill up their graveyard. So this is the training getting doubled that gets so good here. There are some 1-cost spells that I'm like a little afraid of, but not really. Go to the bottom, enjoy a card draw. We'd go for Blade Splicer, Fiend Hunter, Tashar, one of these. So we get double training. When this trains, we get that cool exile ability. We're going to choose to exile Crucius. And Tashar. Oh, each of those also triggers twice. Oh, that's awesome! It's 2 different triggers. The first one only triggered once, though, because, or the first one triggered twice because it was less than 3 power. The second one only goes once. Oh, that's so cool! Anyway, we're attacking for lethal. You got anything to stop it, Croxa? Come on, K-Dog! K-Dog? Also, I didn't mean to click on this. I was trying to click on the Welcoming Vampire. This is still good. Okay. Well, they're roping, so I guess we'll just wait. What's with all the salty babies? Bro, it's a game. Remember, if your opponent is roping you, you can report them by clicking Report a Bug, capturing a log, and contacting support. You'll have to log in on the website, but you can quickly type up a little report saying, yeah, I was playing against K-Dog, and if you attach a log, they'll have a bit more information on the username. When I started winning, when I swung in for lethal, they decided to waste both of our time, rather than just leaving. Oh yeah, gotta get a little bit of salt in there. And then we blow a kiss. Mwah. I'd say GG, but the rope? Bad game, bad manners. You get out of here. Amalia and Luris. Everything in their deck, if it's a permanent, has to cost 2 or less, including their commander, who's Amalia, who cares about gaining life. Whenever you gain life, you get to explore, which gives you some card advantage and generally is pretty sweet. Let's go for Anafenza to start. Anafenza can block this 1/1 vampire token, and also is going to be bolstering our creatures, making them bigger and beefier. Hopefully I want to keep Anafenza 2/2 as long as I can. just so I get more buffs everywhere else. Alright, sure. I will block, it will gain a life, and this will either get a counter or a land in hand. Okay, so they got a counter. Amalia found Vampire of the Dire Moon. Delney! Delney's gonna be a 4/4. Just kidding, these go in sequence, we're 3/3s. Do you want to trade? Asking for a friend. Cool. Vampire to Dire Moon. Got that death touch. We'll be able to trade with any of our creatures. Duress. They can drop Assemble to players, Ossification, or Teferi's Protection. I think the best hit here is if you don't have another way to protect your commander, Ossification, or otherwise Assemble to players because it gives me card advantage. I went for Teferi's Protection. Huh. Ah, and then they're following up with the Thoughtseize to drop Ossification. Hello. I'm good. Thank you. Assemble the players. Got anything cool on top? We do! We have a Tithe Taker! I do love that we're like, yeah, I don't need my commander's abilities. Everything gets to be a 3/3. Could have protected against the Amalia explosion. It's true. Ooh, let's do some double spelling. We choose the Tithe Taker so we can get a double trigger here. Ugh, love to go wide. Yeah, we beef up a Spirit. I'll attack with the Tithe Taker. But they can replay cards so easily. I'm just thinking about, like, more spirits, more fun. This is a black-white spirit, though. Yeah, these are just white. They're slightly different spirits. Creatures come into play tapped. These creatures already came into play tapped. On top of our deck is a wedding announcement. Aww. I'll play Skrell. I'm just gonna go empty-handed here. Show them I mean business. Silly business. Bolster these spirits. So hey. Listen. I'm here to deal damage. And that's exactly what I'll do. They don't have enough mana to replay Lurrus and something next turn. They have enough to put Lurrus into their hand. We do not have Moonshaker Cavalry. We have Elish Norn. Same idea. Whoa! Telling Anna Fenza to get lost! I've got all extra mana here. I could move this wedding announcement off of the top of my deck to try and find something else to play. Yeah, we'll go for it. Look at that! Luminarch Aspirant! Ah, a second spell in a turn! Nice! I love the gating life off the Authority. Back up to 22, because it's increasing each of these by 1. I'm wide. Nice lands in hand. Level 2, whenever they gain life, they'll get a +1/+1 counter on a creature. That is a creature with lifelink. I don't want to play that until after combat. I decide if I want to get another counter on one of these first. Yeah, we're swinging with everything. The counter goes onto Delney, so we'd be trading with Amalia, since Amalia can only block these two. We're doing a ton of damage, and we're still building up our board. They should have discarded Assemble to Players. It's a good card in a deck that's built around it. GG, Amalia. Atali, Primal Conqueror. This is a big rampy commander that comes into play, casts a spell for free from each player, and then flips over into a giant, indestructible, trampling monstrosity that kills you with one hit because of poison. Really scary. Hello, it's me, Giver of Runes. I help to protect the commander. Paradise Druid. Meet Captain Everheart. Captain Everheart discounts our spells we draw during a turn and taxes theirs. They're just going to be ramping. Just a guess. Just a guess they're going to ramp. Into the north. Since they just drew it this turn, you could tell it costs 3 mana. That brings them to 5 mana, though. Okay. Giver of Runes has been taken out. She cannot protect herself. We don't have anything to double off Delney, so I'm going to go for Wedding Announcement instead. You can play Delney next turn just to make these unblockable. Ruby! That's a sweet little mana producing creature. This can give dinosaurs haste. It makes them cost less. I think they might be able to play Atali next turn. They 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna hit the Huntmaster. And the reason for hitting the Huntmaster is because it also can give Atali haste. Big dinosaur. We draw a card. Okay, sweet. Restoration of Iganjo. Can bring back Giver of Runes. I don't have Roaming Throne in this deck. Everybody in my channel is like, oh, Amy always putting Roaming Throne in decks. I only put it in the decks where it makes sense. Got a land. I got Flowering of the White Tree. Oh, man. Blighted Halfling. Well, now I can't Elspeth Conquers Death. They're Atali because it has Ward. I can attack in, but the Delighted Halfling is actually gonna curtail some of that. These all get a +1/+1 buff, which is going to turn off the abilities for some of them. Won't get the double trigger off the Banalish Night Counselor. That's okay. Fun fact, Enlist does get doubled with Delney. So does the Boon. Both parts of this get doubled if it's not getting +1/+1. Well, Frodo and Sam are our commander avatar here because they're little guys. Just like Delney. And everybody else in the deck. Let's get some buff. But I'm not dead yet. Camille, the Inner Sun, discovers a spell. The spell they got was Big Score. They have to discard a card. They want to cast it. Still probably worth it. No, they must really want the cards in hand. It was a Galta. Nice. Drop it. Grab the giver. Born to Norn. Double up some of our abilities. I think how much I need to block next turn. I'm not threatening lethal. What's nice about Elish Norn is if we kill Atali and he comes back, he won't get his Enter the Battlefield ability. Care to block? Yay, nay, what's going on? Oh, Unnaturalize! Gonna take my buff out. Now I'm hardly doing any damage. Aww. My weenies are so wee. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. If they want to flip over Atali, they can. That would force me to block with Elish Norn. But it would also tap them out unless they also play a land. Oh, yeah. I think we're good. Sure, I get some poison. But I actually have way more damage than it looks like. Let's see what you got. You got ramp. That's what I expect. Most of their deck is ramp. So I mentioned this before, that the Banalish Knight Counselor gets its ability doubled. And you're going to see it here. It's kind of cool. A lot more damage than it looks like. So much damage that it's lethal. GG, Atali. Narset Enlightened Exile. Narset's a pretty good card. And this one gives your creatures prowess, including herself. When she attacks in, she casts non-creature spells from the graveyard for free. I have a Narset Enlightened Exile deck. Mine's a tokens deck, and it can do a lot of work, especially if this Narset is attacking with haste. I expect to see a lot of things that, like, when you cast a non-creature spell, you get a token, or when you cast an instant sorcery, you get a token, because those are really, really good cards to have with Narset. And because they have to cast non-creatures to get those, Thalia is a really good card for me to have in hand. Same with Soldier of the Pantheon. It's a 1-mana 2/1 protection from multicolored. Means that they can't block it with Narset, or we could freely block Narset. All those things. I don't actually have many abilities here for Delney. Like, I guess this would double trigger. Oh, a shock! Okay, that's fine. Brainstorm, but it costs 2 mana instead of 1. Thank you, Thalia. We love you, Thalia. Actually, kind of surprised they didn't shock Thalia there. Yeah, I thought they would have tried to kill Thalia first, since these free casts from the graveyard do get taxed by her. I like how we have our 3 most expensive cards in our deck in hand. Alright, let's just keep taxing! Raydan, make those non-creature spells that cost 4 or more cost an extra 2. Just keep taxing, just keep taxing! Now with 4 mana. You just play Narset. Yay, I gained a life. I could use some lands. We're going to use Kinjali's Dawn Runner. Cool. We explored. We found a land. I'll play Skrelv. He's just a little guy. Attack with Redan. Bam. The commander, more important. Listen, it's a white weenies deck. We're doing our best. So Narset gets to swing in. They've killed Redan. They can recast, Strangle, Shock, or Brainstorm. They do have to pay the 1. Thank you, Thalia. We love you, Thalia. And we're going to go for that free block I described before with Soldier of the Pantheon. Unless... Ah, man. Trample. Fine. Well, I'll prevent 1 damage. So this is more of a Narset, protect the commander, I guess. I don't really have anything getting doubled here, so I'm going to play Elish Norn. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. And hold up the protection from Skrelv. If we can get Delney down again, these will be unblockable. Delney, I'm sorry you died. Greeny T, thank you for the 18-month resub. Ah, yeah. Let's go. Sharks? Aw, man, those sharks can block. They didn't attack in at all. Cool. I'm gonna exile Narset because she's good. And then just swing in where I feel safe swinging in. And yeah, game. We take out a blocker. Force them to block Elish Norn. Feels good. Feels good. GG. Atraxa Praetor's Voice. This is the proliferating Atraxa that's great with Planeswalkers, +1/+1 counters, and poison. Or if you're like me, you can also build it as a Sagas deck. Is it good? No. Is it funny? Yes. We have a pretty nice start here. We've got Ambitious Farmhand to get us more land, Daxos for some life gain, and Boromir eventually as well. I could just throw this down, Daxos, since right now I don't really need a land, and I may as well get 2 when I'm getting them, right? Gotta get that double or nothing. This is more damage in. Ooh, Ozolith. So this makes me think that they are, in fact, a counters. +1/+1 counters, since Ozolith would increase those. Let's bring out Delney. Gain 2 life instead of just 1, since Daxos' abilities are doubled. So far, they are missing black mana. They don't have all their colors out yet, but they also only have 2 lands. Could it be Atraxa Slimes? You know, somebody in chat mentioned doing Slimes Against Humanity with Atraxa. What if it is? What if it is? There's a new card that allows you to play any number of copies of it in your deck. It's a sorcery, and it makes a slime. No, it's just Skyclave Apparition. Dang. Well, we all hoped, right? Skyclave Apparition can choose to exile one of these if they choose my commander. Because this is a permanent exile, I kind of have to put it back into the command zone. I can leave it there if I want to never have my commander back ever again. But that kind of stinks, right? I think it kind of stinks. Let's go for Boromir here. Get Daxos' toughness up a little bit. Prevent any free spells from being cast. Don't worry, Atraxa. I trust you. You're a counters Atraxa. Not one of those nasty Planeswalker Atraxas, right? Atraxa Praetor's Voice on the battlefield. Nothing to proliferate yet. And I'm actually just going to exile it. I think Atraxa is scary enough that them getting 4 life, that not being on the board, that's good. I want that to happen. Nice. We have Wedding Announcement, which will eventually buff some of our creatures outside of our range. We could go for that. We could go for Delney, though, because then I have 2 abilities which could be doubled next turn. Ambitious Farmhand and Blade Splicer. Swing in with Daxos and Boromir. Boromir, by the way, has nothing to do with the theme of this deck. This is just a good card to have in white. It's also a bit of a meta pick. You run into Emotes, Emergent Ultimatums, Atalis, all sorts of things. First Sliver, Boromir helps deal with all of those. Ooh, they're gonna beef up the Skyclave Apparition, which means that they won't be able to block our little weenies with it. They're also going to connive from Rafine. I could go for a trade, like offer them Delney for the Apparition, but I really want to get the doubled Splicer. I think Delney is one of the most sought-after cards in the new set. Like, in Karlov Manor, this is one of the cards that people want. Okay, so since they discarded a non-land, this gets 2 counters. We can't even offer them a trade. Ambitious Farmhand, come into play and grab me not 1, but 2 beautiful plains. Bam. Yes, Delney does double Rafine's ability as long as Rafine is still under 3 power. So 1 counter on it works, or just for 1 big swing, you get double connives. Splicer, no splicing. Splicer, no splicing. Just swinging with everybody as we can. Chipping away with our many, many weenies. And now we've gone wide with some first strikers too, these Phyrexian golems. Big money, no board wipe. We can hope. It's a one-sided board wipe. Boromir doesn't prevent this. Everybody's back in my hand. I have 2 dang many cards. They're gonna swing at me. They get double connive, and with the Ozolith, that's gonna be a lot of damage. Thankfully, Daxos did gain me a lot of life. No, we're fine. Kind of. Enough. Mostly. Oh, hey, Angel of Destiny. Angel of Destiny works really well with all these little life gain cards we've got. It's kind of like a sneaky alt win con in this deck. You don't expect it to work as well as it is. Just get down the maximum amount of stuff here. We don't want to play the farmhand because it would give us too many cards in hand. You just want me to have more triggers? More. So many more. They've got enough mana to replay Atraxa, which I'm actually kind of terrified of. Yeah. That end step proliferate. That's good. Do they know they can't block here? Oh! But they didn't choose to put the counters on the Apparition. I think that was a misplay there because we have 6 first striking damage here thanks to the Blade Splicers. Easy to miss that, though. Dang, Rafine, you are huge. These 2 are unblockable. Wish I had some removal here, so we're going to try and draw some removal off the Inspiring Overseer, which has its ability doubled by Delney. That's a Skrelv. That's a Plains. Thanks, guys. That's not what I wanted at all. Angel of Destiny gives me 1 block, but the Death Touch would still kill us. They can put counters on here and do that. So we're probably chump blocking with the Seer anyway. Ooh, okay. Daxos and Boromir. It's fine, it gains us life, but like, that's not what I need right now. What I wanted is I want to draw a card off this to try and find removal for one or both of these. That's not what I was planning on playing this turn. We don't attack in with these because, yes, we get in 3 damage, but then they kill 1 and gain 4 life. Uh-oh. Ah, yes, a silver bullet against our deck. It's Elish Norn. At least we gain a lot of life, right? Oh, no, Elish Norn. Why? Why? We also have this in our deck because it's good with our weenies, making them strong, but we have a lot of 2/2s in our deck. We got a lot of bears. I think our bears are cursed to bear here. They're gonna have lethal. We could block 1 thing here. So I guess we'll just, I don't know, play the Angel of Destiny and Boromir. Look, I can block 1 thing. It's fine. This farmhand would just immediately die upon entering the battlefield. Our weenies, they're shrinking! No! Shrinking! Alright, Johnny, you gonna put more counters on stuff? That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, gotta love Elish Norn hanging out with her baby Atraxa. Oh, they're bringing back the Warden of Inner Sky. You can also just attack me. They don't know I don't have anything. But I'm pretty sure they know I would use it if I had it. And I don't. I know Dust to Dawn would be so good right here. But I'm so dead. In the end, it didn't even matter. Good match, though. Gummy Thick Atraxa gained them back all that life. Rafine did a lot of work with the Ozolith. They're just making her 69 for the nice win. Definitely their intent. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, GG, Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. Tyvar, the Bellicose. This is the newest creature Tyvar that gets kind of wild with elves. Gets a lot of counters too, some mana. This is an okay hand, but we're going to be turning off our commander early using Guardian of Nubenalia, Flowering of the White Tree, Redan, and these other good bits right here. So I'm going to mulligan, because I'd rather have something on turn 1 to deal with elves. Elves are really aggressive. We need to be aggressive too. Oh, good. And now I have 2 pieces of removal and also some artifact and enchantment removal. Yeah, Tyvar is like, you use your mana dorks, which are elves, and you get counters. This is good. I guess I'll attack with the Novice Inspector. If they play Tyvar, we obliterate him. Die, Tyvar. Keeper of Progenitus? What does that do? It's an elf druid. Whenever a player taps a mountain forest or plains, that player adds 1 type of mana. Oh, and because that elf is the one tapping for mana, or causing you to get the mana, that works. That's wild. Let's get a Ketra's Monument down so we can go super wide. Again, elves, we have to go wide. Hyvar and Byvar, yeah. Circle of Dream Druids taps for lots of mana. Druid of the Cow taps for mana. Behold! Delney! Also, counters on stuff. They block. So now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Make it 10! What you gonna cast? Next turn, I'll probably Swords to Plowsharings their Circle of Dreams Druid. Ooh, Herald! That gets them another elf or Tyvar. Or warrior, but it's gonna be an elf for a Tyvar. Let's see. There's gotta be an elf in the top 7. They got a Fauna Shaman that lets them tutor for things like Raider Hoof Behemoth. Rishkar. They don't have the ability to take out both their tutor and their mana. Oh. Can you use up those maps? No Citadel Stalwarts. Sure. You got land. I'm gonna hit Fauna Shaman. Yes, this is gonna get ridiculously large with Tyvar. Let's see, how much damage can I get in this turn, though? Make their stuff come in tapped. Keep getting wide. Not attacking with Delney or Lumeric Aspirant because this Elvish Visionary can still block. Tyvar comes on out. He's tapped, though. Esferus Sentinel. Let's get the counter since it tapped for mana. They could do something cheeky like block with the Circle of Dreams Druid and then put the counters on it. Let me start with a draw. Guardian of New Banana. Swinging it with these 3. 2 of them, I guess, get eaten up. Oh, yeah. Okay, they're not going for that. Just keep going wide. Try and draw a card. Keep going wide. More. Weenies! I don't have anything to destroy. I realized after that they could have, like, munched up 2 of my creatures. Guess I should just be very happy that, they didn't see that. Hey, Marwyn. I need 1 more land. One moment. Let's both draw cards. As a show of friendship. No longer is Delney's text relevant. Because we don't have anything that's smaller than a 2/2. All we have are big, Bungus Chunguses. Not fully sure why they're tapping some things here. I understand tapping the stuff that's going to die to Norn. Maybe that's what they're doing. Oh, yeah, those are all things that had really low toughness. One of you is gonna die, but it doesn't matter. We're swinging in. Chi-chi, Tyvar. Admiral Brass, unsinkable. This is such a good commander. And, let's see here if I have anything super good. Thalia's really good against Admiral Brass because when she reanimates things and gives them haste, they won't be able to attack because Thalia would have them come into play tapped. Whew. Hopefully they have, a healthy number of pirates in their deck. I've run into Admiral Brass decks that do not have enough pirates, and their decks really suffer because of it. We got a nice draw here, a 2-cost creature. It's Thalia. Going to make all of our non-creature spells cost more, but that's okay. Part of Deckened for some unblockability. Nice, we drew this. We can either go for Delney, we don't have anything to double, Thalia, making things come in tapped, or Flowering of the White Tree to get super buffs. I want to do this next turn. This is actually a Thalia deck. So say hello to Thalia and her best friend, herself. I'm not a spirit, so I can't block that. Flowering of the White Tree. Oh, bye, Delney. Yeah, we don't have the pieces for Delney right now, and that's fine. Again, the backup plan for this deck is we're white weenies. And white weenies are white winners. Right? Right? Mono white? We got it? No. Ooh, I really like holding the Patriarch's Humiliation, but it requires me not playing something else this turn. Yeah, so they're making sure they have a pirate in their graveyard for when Admiral Brass comes out. You have a non... Ooh, I'm sorry. Do you have a non-basic land? You do have a non-basic land. Forerunner of the Coalition comes on out. She's tapped, though. This deals damage when pirates enter the battlefield under their control. Are you guys talking about suns in Magic the Gathering? Like S-U-N? Yeah, there's a bunch of suns in Magic that are not actually, like, stars. Yeah, the Sons of Mirrodin are a great example. Ooh, Crippling Fear. Hey, any y'all pirates? No? Okay. So they're wiping the board. Oh, the Delney is not unblockable because of Flowering of the White Tree. Star of Extinction is a meteor. It sure is. Here comes Admiral Brass. When she enters the battlefield, she mills. We also get booped for 1. But normally when she goes to combat, she reanimates things. Except she doesn't actually have any abilities. Admiral Brass of no abilities. Assemble the players. We're looking for weenies on top of our deck. Failed to find them. But we don't want to battle Flywater here. It's like, I can ossification this. I don't need to. Just waiting for weenies. Very syncable. Very syncable. Creature on the top? Hey! It's Loran! Loran won't get a double buff. Not that it matters. Okay, let's Loran. Great. Okay, so it looked like they had a counter spell. They could have another counter spell. Just gonna scooch that out of the way. They didn't leave back Brass. Well, we haven't won yet. Gotta wait and see. Answer's yeah. We're winners. Winner, chicken dinner. Judith! Carnage Connoisseur. This is the newest Judith that can give your spells lifelink or make an imp. I want to say it's an imp? Yes, a 2/2 red imp. It's like a super devil token. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Nice. Hi, Judith. Judith is kind of cool. She can be run similar to Florian as like a burn commander. I bet there's somebody out there building her as Storm too. I wouldn't be surprised. Hi, new Jude. Oh! Okay, I'm into this. They're casting Gamble. This just got added to Arena as part of the special guests. And what happens when you Gamba? Well, you get to tutor, and then you get to discard at random. Carmen, formerly Hamdi, now Quampins, out here teaching me the virtues of Gamble. What got discarded? Electro Dominance. Nice. I wonder if they went for a board wipe knowing how wee our creatures are. We don't enlist because we want to keep this ready. Yo, King Pop? Sorry, King Poop? Yeah, this person is a king. Yeah, this Judith seems like it has a nice ability. The only thing that's tough about it is that this is 5 mana. Oh, look! But they can accelerate to 5 mana with Judith! Oh, or use that for Healy Archive. That works too! We do thankfully have a Loran to go pew pew on it, though. Loran will draw us a card and destroy the key. Lightning Bolt on the Welcoming Vampire. We protect. We really want to draw a card. Like a land. Lands are good. Okay, no land. I'm going to enlist here. Beef up the next critters that I cast. I think like Angel of Destiny is really great to get the counters on. Even Tashar, just because it's flying, and we don't really need the unblock ability, though the other doubled abilities are sweet too. Dragon's Rage Channeler! Oh, it's a 3/1. Has to attack. It would be such a funny battle of Bywater. Just like, yeah, I'll hit you for 1. No problem. It would be a waste. Right now, playing Delney would not draw us a card because Welcoming Vampire would see it with counters on it. So they're just going for the trade. Hello, lands, please. Ah, Smorkish Bowmasters. It enters the battlefield and we're going to use Humiliation on it because I don't want to get pinged. That's not a land. That's a Teferi's Protection. Listen, yes, it's a good card, but no, it's not what I wanted right now. I'm out here getting humiliated a little. They're up to 4 mana. One of these is a fetch, though, so I gotta crack it open if they want it. Shout out to Giver of Runes. They could have bolted Giver of Runes, by the way. Just going for a big Tishar. It's big, it flies, it's practically a dragon. We love that for them. It's a big bird. Ah. I like it when you cast historic spells like your commander. They let us bring back weenies from the graveyard. Big chicken. Big winning chicken. The first sliver. Almost never a slivers deck, and usually a 5-color good stuff deck with ramp, emergent ultimatum, and all sorts of other nasty business that we just don't really like playing against. I'll still give it a go, a fair shake, because maybe, just maybe, they're actually a slivers deck. Maybe. Well, we're gonna tax them anyway. If you try to cast spells during my turn, it's not gonna work. And if you try to cast things that ain't creatures and cost a lot of mana, also won't work. Going for taxes rather than our commander, since right now we just gotta stop them from their game plan. Redan, by the way, also does hit things that they happen to cascade into, which can be pretty nice. Oh, wow, that was lucky. Their Settle the Wilds got them a red mana source. Oh, they also had a Blood Crypt in hand. Ha! Yes! Boromir! Gosh, he actually showed up on time. So Boromir, I'm so excited to see here because he stops Cascade. And also Emergent Ultimatum. And Atali. It's a generally very helpful card to have. Key to the Archive comes into play, gets them 2 more mana. They're looking to see, what removal should I grab? Removal for these. You can get a board wipe off Key to the Archive. Oh, no, they got a regrowth, but they dropped it because they didn't want it. Here comes Delney. Narset Enlightened Master. This is the Narset to cast spells for free, which we just talked about. Doesn't work. Also, Narset can't block any of our 2 power creatures, which is just kind of neat. I think our best move is actually the Werefox Bodyguard here. This can be used to exile our own cards in case of a board wipe. We would be exiling 2 cards because of Delney. So the things, by the way, that cost 2, they are paying for mana, so it does resolve. Looking like what they got at Citadel in this. We're gonna protect these 2. I know, sometimes Redan does betray us. Don't worry, these two will come back. Guess who's back? Back again. Boromir's back! Preventing you from casting certain types of spells. And now they don't have 2 more mana. So those get countered. And we have enough unblockable damage that we win the game. Tricky, tricky. GG. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars and our first episode featuring a new commander. If there's a commander you would like to see from the new set, please let me know. Or if there's another commander you'd like to see me brew or update. I do read all the comments, so please put it in the comments section. Also, commenting helps promote my videos on YouTube. I don't really understand the algorithm, but I know that that's part of it. If you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description of the video. And if you're, just looking to hang out, twitch.tv/Amazonian is where I make these videos and where I stream almost every single day. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.